Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go to a story titled, I'm Free. And guys, this story is a story about one of the biggest train wrecks I've ever heard. And that's saying something given how long I've been doing these things on YouTube. This guy, rightfully so, ends up kicking this girlfriend to the curb because she truly is the biggest train wreck I ever heard on multiple fronts. And it's a perfect example, guys, of what happens when a man doesn't know what he's doing. When a man has such little respect for himself that he'll let someone like this into his life. And there is everything in here you can probably imagine, from open relationships, lots of baby daddies, multiple kids. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And this is why I do what I do. So this really is an example of a public service announcement, a what not to do type of video to show you the extent of clueless guys, what they go through, what they'll endure. But fortunately, eventually a guy can be pushed too far and he kicks these types to the curb. So it's very important of what not to do, and I think you guys will definitely enjoy this if you can stand listening it long enough without pulling out your hair. But it's worth your time, so I recommend you listen to it because it is at least entertaining as can be. He says, I, a 25-year-old male, met a gal, 31-year-old female, back in 2019 at a job. Never spoke to her, engaged with her at all, until a little over a year later when she added me on social media. We met up, hung out a few times, and within a month, she turned into my girlfriend. You got in a relationship with a gal you work with and a gal you know only 1 month? Smack! That's crazy. Don't jeopardize your job, your career with some chick. Don't shit where you eat. Not to mention 1 month? How do you even know her at all in 1 month? This guy was just probably so happy some girl's paying attention to him and throwing some hoo-ha his way that he's willing to do anything. And you're going to see how it's going to backfire. This is the start to a very long and difficult chapter I've entered in my life. Oh, you ain't kidding, but guess what? You are responsible, partially, for all this turmoil and misery you go through. Everything started off sweet. Well, it usually does. She's a good-looking gal, and I always had thought so about her. So you already had a crush on her before you got together with her. Guess what? She already knew that. We got together in November of 2021 and made it official. It was great. I saw her every day, and when I go to work, we talk while I'm at work. Literally spent all day with her. Smack! Again, don't date someone you work. That's a terrible idea. You got to have time apart, for God's sakes. You can't always be together. That's a terrible idea for many, many reasons, but also it's going to kill the attraction if there's any. She needs time up. You need time apart. She needs time apart, that type of thing. After 3 months, I ran into issues. Oh, do tell. She wanted a poly relationship and tried to talk me into it, but respectfully declined that. I told her that I didn't like to share. 3 months in, she wants a poly relationship. In other words, she found this nice guy who she knows a sucker, who liked her way more than she likes him. Now, I'll give him credit. He didn't agree to that, so good for him. But guess what? She's in a poly relationship. He just doesn't know it. She had children as well, while I didn't have any. I knew of 2 of them, but another year later going forward, and it turns out to be 5 kids in total with 3, potentially 4 different fathers. So at first you knew 2 kids, but surprise, surprise, oh, by the way, she really has 5 kids, and from 3 to 4 different daddies. Bro, as if there wasn't already a sign to run when she brought this whole poly relationship thing, here's one now. But it gets better. And when I say better, I'm being sarcastic. So I confront her about it because I don't have any children of my own. I never thought I'd be with someone with more than 2 kids, and that's being generous. And I can't help with that. Still, I tried to overpower it and eventually started asking more questions. She doesn't have custody of either of the kids. I've been supporting her and fighting to get them back, but she never shows the drive to get them back, so I started to think that she no longer cared about them. You think? What does this say when the mother can't get the kids? That says the courts think that she's probably the worst mother on east of the Mississippi, and it's a terrible idea. And you're going to be involved with her? Poly relationship? Liar? Kids can't be with her? Many, many daddies? Now, I'm going to the bread and butter of what I've been through. Please bear with me. Oh, what? That's not enough? After finding out about the children, she lost her home, and I immediately went to get her stuff by renting a U-Haul and renting a storage to place her stuff in. How'd she lose her home? Single-handedly, I loaded and unloaded the U-Haul. She was my girlfriend. I had to help her. I had a home, but couldn't move her in because my mother is staying with me. Of course, this guy lives with his mom. Now, I'm all for taking care of family, of course, but still, this guy's in his mid-20s, so his mom can't be that much. I mean, his mom's probably not in her 50s. Why his mom doesn't have her own place? But you never know. I stayed with her because she didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't want her to feel alone. We go through it together. Oh, this is the chick. I missed a part. Hold on. Even I can skip things. Single-handedly, I helped her, blah, blah, blah. I had a home, but couldn't move her in because my mother's staying with me. I stayed with her because she didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't want her to feel alone. Okay, whatever. She ended up getting tax money and bought a fixer-upper house and a tent so we could fix the house up together. What amount of tax money is going to help her buy a house, even if it's a fixer-upper here? Is she claiming all those kids, even though she doesn't have them, to get a better tax deal, a tax credit or something like that, so she got a big refund? And what house did she buy with that? I mean, I can see she could buy a tent with that tax refund. A week later, she bought a car off someone, and I asked her where, and she didn't want to tell me. Her father came by to help work on the home, and asked whose vehicle, and I told him it belongs to his daughter, who is my girlfriend. She looked and told him that her driver's license is suspended, and she's not allowed to operate motor vehicles. Okay, so she has 5 kids from 4 different daddies. 3 or 4 different daddies, she thinks, because she doesn't know probably. Then the state took them away from her. She got kicked out of her house, had no money, probably decimated credit, and her driver's license has been suspended. What a catch. You want to talk about this guy's moron of the year and desperate here. So I turned purple and asked her why she didn't tell me, and she replied that she's a grown-ass woman and that no one can stop her from doing so. You mean driving? I believe the police will have a different opinion on that, as well as the judge. We got into a big argument, and then she left for 3 days. In other words, she's punishing you. She came back like everything was fine, but being distant a bit. So I asked, what did she do? And she said she went to her cousin's house in another town over. Later that night, her phone went off at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was the guy she was dealing with before me. Oh, now we know what she was doing for the last 3 days. We both looked at the phone and grabbed it and instantly hit decline. So I asked, why is he calling her this late at night? And she replied that he was helping her dad with work. Oh, I'm sure he was, sure. I thought it was fishy, but I brushed it off, but that guy stayed in my mind. Just know this guy has been the subject of every fight we've been from that point on. Dude, she is giving every sign that she is complete garbage. Not all worth your time. A terrible girlfriend. I use that term lately. Why the hell are you still with her? What kind of guy stays with a gal that has this many problems and has this much turmoil and is deceitful and mentioned the poly relationship early on and is obviously cheating on him and lying to him and manipulating him and using him? A guy that is, yes, a bonehead, but a guy that is so worn down, thinks he's such shit, this is all he's going to get. That's usually what boils down to no self-esteem. That's why I work hard to get guys to get self-esteem, to build themselves up in some capacity. But this guy, I bet you could have 20 of me telling him what's going on, what's real, and he wouldn't listen to me. He'd probably hate me and hate you guys too for telling him reality. So guys have to suffer and learn on their own. Last year, 4 days before Valentine's Day, I found out that she slept with this guy a week ago. Ah, shocker, and you still stayed with her. My heart shattered and dropped. I woke her up and questioned her, and she made a big fuss as to why she couldn't have both of us. And I told her that I made it clear that I will not participate in a poly or open relationship. Either respect it or leave me alone. She showed no remorse. No, I'm sorry, no changed behavior, nothing. Why should she show remorse? Why should she show that she's sorry? She knows darn well you're not going anywhere. She's already presented a glimpse of who she really is, and you're still there. I mean, you're a fucking moron. I have to say it. Now, I know this story ends on a higher note, but still, my God. Some guys just have to suffer and suffer and suffer until they wake up. 2 weeks later, we tried for it again. Smack! I don't know why I haven't smacked this guy 16,000 times already. I'm just not in the mood today, guys. But I always kept my guard up because I simply couldn't forgive her for cheating on me while I was only trying to help her. Mr. White Knight, trying to help the damsel. He watched too many movies, man. That was the worst mistake of my life. Arguments just about every 4 or 5 days a week. What kind of relationship? Last time I checked, relationships are supposed to be enjoyable, easy, as in should. Not necessarily they're always that way, but fighting, arguing, cheating, this and this. Last October, my mother ended up getting sick, so she offered to help me with my mom while I was at work. I wouldn't let this broad anywhere near my mama. My mom came to like her and even planned to help her out more, but my mom questioned a lot of things like why she doesn't see her hang out with her kids. So this chick is really good at putting on the act and fooled your mom. But then again, women know women very well, and that's very fishy. I was brushed it off because I felt shamed and knew that she will be disappointed that her son chose a girl that doesn't want to be in her kid's life. Our anniversary came up, and instead of celebrating it, I told her that I will not go through childlike behavior with her any longer, so I told her if she's messing with the guy to answer me honestly. She lied, of course, and I saw it, but I played like I believed her. I had to leave this girl, and she was turning me into an evil person. I wouldn't say she's turning you into an evil person. She's just bringing out the moron in you. All I wanted to do was to love her correctly and build with her. She didn't want that from me. Smack! This girl is not lovable. She's a piece of garbage. She's a fucking wacko. She's a narcissist, and I'm sure everything she turns around and blames on somebody else for her problems in her life. And you. A few days ago was where I made the best decision in my life and left her. Thank the Lord. It took you long enough, man. I found out she'd cheat on me again, but not only that, she was planning to leave me for this guy. Yeah, and I bet you this guy didn't wait on her hand and foot, probably treated her like garbage, because guess what? She knows she's garbage. This guy didn't want nothing more to do with her than to sleep with her. I saw it in their messages. I confronted her and told her to stay away from my home. She came anyway as I was making my way back to my house. Put up a big fuss about getting her stuff, and then I started everything and ruined her relationship with the guy. See? Narcissist. Everything else is somebody else's problem. We're supposed to be in a relationship, but you ruined my other relationship with the other guy. What I tell you, she's been in a poly relationship all along, or open relationship all along. She just didn't tell this guy. I didn't do anything but tell her that it was over and stay away from me. Now listen to this. A day later, she decided to come back and harass me. She barged into my house and tried to enter my room. I fought her to block my door and screamed to leave my house. She got a knife out and pulled it out as my mom came to see what was going on, so she waved it at her. So I tackled her and pushed her outside my house. Holy crap. Barged in, grabbed the weapon, started making threats. He had to tackle her to get away from his mama. Oh my God. Can you not see this chick is crazy? I don't know how this guy didn't change the locks, although he said she barged in. And security cameras, restraining order. So I called the police and told them that someone needed to be there within the next 5 minutes. I did not feel safe in my home and don't trust her around my mom or my house. The officers came and questioned both of us, and she was lying to them, telling them that I beat her up and dragged her up and down the street, and the cop looked at her for bruises, but couldn't find any of them, and looked at me, and I told the officer, yeah, if I did that, you'd see the marks on her. He smirked and was like, yeah, and got her for trespassing. So, of course, she lied to the cops, and then, thank God, there were no bruises, so the guy can make the point. But then he said, oh, we got her for trespassing. Trespassing? How about breaking and entering, as in she barged in to his home? How about grabbing a weapon, making threats, all these other things? Usually she makes contact with me, but it's been 2 days now. I didn't want to get this far. I loved her, and I wanted the best for her. Smack! Are you out of your mind? She didn't care about me, which is fine. But to toy with someone's emotions and heart is pure evil. I can breathe again. My skin color is getting lighter. I'm doing good and received good news. I am free. Bro, it's been 2 days. Okay? This ain't over. All right, because she's going to have more problems, and she's going to come back to you, assuming that you're this weak bonehead, and her assumptions are pretty right. That's going to take her back. You need a restraining order against this wacko. You have reasons for that now that there's a police report. You need to have change the locks, have security cameras put extra locks in your doors and windows, security cams put up, probably a dog, to protect you, all those other things. And who knows, she may get some of these other boyfriends of hers to come after you for whatever she claims you've done wrong against her. Bro, you could have avoided all this stuff when seeing the red flags early on. I don't want any more parts with that person. I'm happy now and hope she is too. Without me, if you made it this far, thank you for reading. I'm only 25 years old and will be turning 26 in August. She's 5 years older than me, but I will like to see her get some help and be medicated. Yeah, she definitely needs medication. And bro, she's 5 or 6 years older than you, okay? She has had plenty more time to learn the game to manipulate the hell out of you. I don't wish anything ill towards her, but I need her as far away from me as possible. I'm at my place of peace. I'm free. Thanks once again for letting me share this story. Well, bro, I'm glad you ended it with her. At least, thank God, you had some sense in the end. I mean, look at all the misery this dude went through, but finally seeing reality. You need to you can't be any relationships for a long time until you work on yourself and ask yourself, why was I drawn to a woman like this? Why did I feel compelled to get involved with a gal who repeatedly lied to me, cheated on me, manipulated me, toyed with my emotions, all that, took advantage of me? Why? Is that what you need to do to feel like a man? To provide, to be the big savior and white knight? This is the bull crap you see in the movies and TV shows, all right? You're out of your mind. Have you gotten no hoo-ha ever, and you're going to take whatever you can get? These are important things. Have some self-respect. And now, I'm glad you ended with her, but probably because it was just gotten so bad. But the odds are, if you don't learn the lessons of why you got involved with someone like this, guess what? You're going to be with another gal like this down the road, and she's going to take advantage of you. And next time, it could be a crazy that ends up hurting you or your mom. You really want that? So I would have nothing to do with this woman. Like I said, restraining order, ASAP, security cameras, a dog, change the locks, get extra locks and stuff like that. And watch your back, because she'll show up in the middle of the night screaming and yelling. Block her on everything. And be careful and work on yourself. And by the way, I assume you still work together? Guess you're at work? Time for another fucking job, man. This way you don't get involved with your coworkers. So anyhow, guys, this really is a, a public service announcement, if you will. There's another term for this, but I can't think of it at the moment, of what not to do. Because you're like this guy, you're going to have a very miserable situation. Now, real quick, some comments here, because they're always fun. One guy says, on this week's episode of My 5 Baby Daddies, he says, dude, you are lucky you aren't the 5th or 6th baby daddy. For a woman to lose custody of her kids means she was up to some bad shit. It takes a lot not to give custody to the mother. Exactly. Another one. This guy says, Jesus Christ, dude. She was a train wreck, and the amount of red flags she had on her should have told you to leave ASAP. You would have been blind to miss all those. Look, I hope you and your mom are doing better now, but maybe you should consider a restraining order against her for your own protection and peace of mind. Now you need to work on yourself before even considering getting into another relationship. And don't try to be that white knight, because you're just setting yourself up for misery and heartache down the road. Also, do not take back a cheater, because doing that will cause them to lose respect for you, and it shows them that you have very little respect for yourself. And don't hook up with coworkers. I could have said it better myself. I think this dude probably watches channels like mine. And last one, this guy says, dude, you were letting her overstep you, but glad that finally you put your boot down and make yourself be respected. So keep going, and for your own security and your mom's, put some security cameras so you can have all recorded. And if you need proof to the authorities that she accused you. So in that way, you can put a restraining order on her. Also, if you're paying for her storage, stop doing it. Yeah, anyway, I think he was paying for her storage. There you go, guys. Anyway, what not to do. And again, many, many lessons about gals like that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.